Have you ever thought why this big YouTuber gets so many clicks on their thumbnails and you don't? Well, I'm gonna tell you which strategies this big YouTuber uses to hook you and get so many views. So yeah, today we are going to talk about thumbnails. But before beginning, I wanna tell you about myself. So I'm Mazid, a YouTube strategist and thumbnail artist. I have created a lot of thumbnails and got these results. So let's begin. So let's talk about how to create a good thumbnail or how to come up with good thumbnail ideas. So let's get started. The number one is a good idea. Yes, you heard it right. A good idea. Because if your idea is not good, then you do whatever on your thumbnail, do whatever on your title, nobody's gonna watch it. Because a good idea is what it takes to create a good video, right? And hence you can get a good thumbnail as well. Then you have to research your thumbnails. Okay, how do you research it? You can use YouTube, like what kind of thumbnails are trending on that particular topic. You can search your competitors, so whoever your competitors are, you check their thumbnails, what kind of thumbnail they are creating on their videos and getting most of the views. Okay, and you can also use some paid tools like ViewStat Pro, where you can compare your thumbnail, where you can search outlier videos and all these things. But there is a hack. You can use free vidIQ extension in your Chrome, okay, and that tells you an outlier score. Basically, the videos which have performed very well on the channel, that's called an outlier, and you can check it by so many things like 1 out of 10 ViewStat. You can check it by vidIQ as well. In research, you have to check the format, you have to check the colors of thumbnail which are performing good, you have to check what type of text they are using, what kind of facial impressions they are using. These are the patterns you have to notice. YouTube and content works on patterns, so you have to analyze the pattern as well. Okay, but keep in mind, do not try to be unique when it comes to thumbnail. The one thing that is unique about you is you only, so be yourself. Let's jump on to the number 3. That's the ideation part. You have to come up with ideation according to your specific video. So draw 2-3 rough sketches of how your thumbnail should look like, and keep in mind, when you are ideating your thumbnail, it should tell a story. It's very simple. For example, I'm sitting in this particular room and my video idea is I survived 100 days in one room. So that's the idea. And when I'm creating a thumbnail, I'll create a room structure and my alone thing right there in the room, and maybe a little surrounding. Okay, and that thumbnail should exactly tell how I survived 100 days. So maybe I'm very bored, so I'm like this, or maybe I'm ill, so like I'm having some oxygen marks or something right here. Okay, so this should tell a story. Then number 4 is designing part. Okay, so let's jump on designing. There are some principles to design a good thumbnail. Okay, when you see a big YouTuber thumbnail, I don't think so you ever feel like so many stuff into that thumbnail. They hardly uses text. Their thumbnail has lots of space and it's look very clear. Okay, you can do a blink test. What is blink test? Like this. You just do this and see if you can see your thumbnail in that time. Well, there are some designing principles when it comes to thumbnail, and that you need to keep in your mind. Number 1 is negative space. Your thumbnail should not have lots of things. You have to keep it clean. So if I'm reviewing this pen, my face, this pen and some sort of background should tell a story about this particular pen. This is how you are going to keep it clean and simple. I might write a text about it, maybe worst, maybe best, something like this. Okay, when it comes to thumbnails, if you are making entertainment form of content like Riandran, like Mr. Beast, try to avoid text. So the golden rule is using 0 to 4 word text, not more than that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Well, next thing is rule of thirds. What is rule of third? You can see this. Okay, this is the rule of third. And as a human, when we see a particular image, our eyes goes first onto this particular line right here that you can see. Okay, so try to add your face, try to add your eye on this particular line and text on this particular line. Okay, so this is how you should use rule of thirds to get attention. Then contrast is very important in thumbnails, because there are tons of videos on a viewer's homepage And if you want to stand out between all, you have to create a contrast in your thumbnail so the colors are popping and the viewer can easily see your video. I tell you something, on an average we only take 13 milliseconds to click a thumbnail. This becomes very important to put so many effort into your thumbnail. Well, the next thing you should keep in mind is colors. When you are creating a thumbnail, try to use complementary colors usually. Okay, what do you mean by that? So when you go to the color wheel, if you're using a blue color, try to use yellow color with that. Like these both colors are opposite on color wheel, so they create the highest amount of contrast. Okay, or maybe a little similar, so you can check with that color wheel and you should create that way. Use those colors. Well, the next point is, which software should you use to create your thumbnail? You should use Photoshop. I am a big fan of Photoshop because you have so many controls on it. You can do whatever you want with your thumbnail. You can make very minor changes, you can add lots of details into it, but the problem is it's not easy to learn Photoshop. Yeah, so that is the problem I face. Okay, but you can use the substitute, Canva. Yeah, you are happy, I know. You can use Canva. You can create a good thumbnail on Canva as well, because I have started my journey by creating thumbnails on Canva only, and those are like shit, but okay, I started with that only. So you have come across long way. You got the idea, you did the research, you make the ideation, you did the designing part, you know the software as well, which one to use. The last part is A/B testing. This is very important. Right now YouTube is providing you the feature to A/B test. So there are 3 options, like you can put 3 thumbnails at a time to test, and it takes 2 weeks to test those thumbnails. So I highly recommend to create 3 versions of your thumbnail, and you do not have to make a big changes in all 3. You can just work on like expressions, maybe facial expressions. So if you have like this expression, you can go with this expression, you can go with dull expression or something like that. You can make some changes in text, you can make some changes in color, and go test this out, which one performs better. So you will start noticing a pattern in your thumbnails as well. So you should do this. And this was all about thumbnails from my end, and we will be creating more videos about it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and this is my first video actually. If you liked it, you can hit a subscribe button, because I'm going to create so many videos about how you can be a better YouTuber, or how you can create content strategically and grow your channel fast. Okay, so let's see you in next video. Bye bye.
अबे जल्दी बोल, कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है।